my goodness.
Yeah.
I am so excited to be here with you. Did you know, excuse me, did you know that Mrs. Koch is a former French Road librarian? Did you know that?
10 years.
10 years. And now she works in Webster, but also she's a very passionate eclipse, what do you call it?
Chaser. Or, yeah, I'm an umbraphile.
An umbraphile, okay, which means that
I want to get myself into the umbra, which is the shadow of the moon that gives you totality. And all you're going to have to do on April 8th is go outside, and you too will be in the umbra.
So we'll all be umbraphiles?
For the moment, yeah.
Umbraphiles for the moment. So what we're going to do today is a couple of things. Mrs. Koch has so much information. She's a national eclipse educator, is that true?
Yes, I am.
So she knows a lot about eclipses, okay? So what she's going to do is share a couple of things with us. I know you may have read or looked through at least a piece of the book, which talks a little bit about the science. We're going to do a whole bunch of things in the next half hour, so it's going to be kind of jam-packed. So what we're going to do first is have you have your snack, and we're going to turn it over to Mrs. Koch, who's going to lead us through our programming for today. Okay?
We got cookies.
I'm sorry. Folks, excuse me. Excuse me. Liv, we really have to be an attentive audience because we have a limited amount of time, okay?
What time again?
So we are here until about 2:37. So
7, okay.
Yeah, so we'll try and keep on track.
All right, so April 8th. Okay, so we're going to review first, just very quickly, what is an eclipse, so we're all on the same page. I don't think we're going to spend a lot of time talking about the book, just a little bit. And we're going to spend most of our time on how you can make the most of your experience on April 8th, because this is a very special, very unique event. And then hopefully we'll have some time to participate in some activities. I brought you a whole bunch of stuff, too, to take with you that you can share with your friends and with your family to learn and experience the eclipse on April 8th, because we are very fortunate for this opportunity. So as a librarian, of course, a book brought me to this. Every Soul Star by Wendy Moss. I read this book, and in this book she does an amazing description. There's these 3 kids, and their lives come together in totality, in a total solar eclipse. And they connect, they become friends, and then she describes the moment when totality happens. And she did such a marvelous job. I said, I need to know more about this. I was always kind of interested in outer space. So I Googled it, and come to find out there are umbraphiles. They will do anything to get into totality. They travel all around the planet, to Antarctica, to Iceland, anywhere that it is, to experience something for even 30 seconds, for a minute. We're going to have 3 minutes and 38 seconds of totality to experience. And so I made a plan when I read that book. I said, when is the next one going to be that I can go to? And it was 2017. And at that time, it's a few years away. And so I said, I'm going to go. And it was in the summer. And we were living in Colorado for the year. And I drove 10 hours to where my second cousin lived, who I'd never met before. And I asked my son, will you go with me? And we experienced it. And it was incredible. People will talk about it just in terms of, it touches something in you where you see the universe in 3 dimensions, and it is just so beautiful. And I'm excited to share it with you in hopes that you will have that same kind of experience when you see the beauty and the awe of the universe in this experience. All right, so I've done a lot of training. I am in ASP Eclipse Star. I've done training with NASA. The ASP is Astronomical Society of the Pacific. I've done training with the Air and Space Museum and solar eclipse activities for libraries, all kinds of things. I am not a scientist. I've always been interested. And I've gone to school a lot and done a lot of different things, but I'm not a scientist. And maybe in some ways you understand some of these things in ways I don't. But I've used this to train myself and learn more and become more interested in different things about science.
Are you a Navy SEAL?
No, actually I was in the Air Force. This is Solar Eclipse Activities for Libraries is what they call it. And they gave it a seal as the icon. No, I was in the Air Force. Yes?
I just got one. We just ate half of them.
Good. All right. We're going to watch a quick little 2.5 minute video because I think just to get a sense of we're all on the same page about what this is, I think this is the best way to do that. So let's do this.
A solar eclipse happens when a new moon moves between the Earth and the Sun, blocking some or all of the Sun's rays from reaching the Earth. By cosmic chance, even though the Sun is 400 times wider than the Moon, it's also 400 times farther away. Therefore, the two objects appear the same size in our sky. Astronomers are able to predict eclipses because the Earth and Moon have very predictable orbits. Why then isn't there an eclipse every month? The Moon's orbit is usually tilted a few degrees north or south in relation to the Earth. When the Moon does eclipse the Sun, it casts two types of shadows on Earth. A smaller, darker shadow known as the umbra, and a larger shadow known as the penumbra. There are 4 types of solar eclipses. The first and most spectacular is a total eclipse, when the moon completely covers the sun's surface. A total eclipse can only be seen if you're standing within the umbral shadow. That's why the imaginary line created by this shadow as it races across Earth is known as the path of totality. People within the penumbral shadow see only a partial eclipse, the second type. From this view, outside the path of totality, the moon passes in front of the sun off-center, never fully covering its surface. Third, an annular eclipse occurs when the moon passes directly in front of the sun. However, unlike a total eclipse, the moon appears too small to fully cover the sun. The moon's orbit is elliptical, so sometimes it's closer to Earth and sometimes it's farther away. Last, a hybrid eclipse is when the moon's position between the Earth and Sun is so finely balanced that the curvature of the Earth plays a role. The moon will be farther away from some parts of Earth along the eclipse's path, resulting in an annular eclipse. In other parts, the moon will be just close enough to fully cover the sun, resulting in a total eclipse. While a total solar eclipse happens somewhere on Earth every year or two, any given point on Earth experiences the event only about once every 400 years.
All right. So it's a very, very special opportunity. I use this model a lot, right? All it is the sun and the moon and the Earth lining up, right? At the right place, and we are at the right place at the right time in New York to be able to see this. And the moon will cover the shadow, cover the sun and put a shadow on the Earth, right? We all good with that? Okay. All right. We did that already. All right, so I hope you enjoyed the book. I really did. And one of the things I thought was really interesting was that the scientist was a woman, and there are a lot of female astronomers. Actually, it's one of the areas of science in which especially physics, in which there are a lot of women. And there's women throughout history who have been eclipse chasers, eclipse scientists in particular. And I love that in that book, all 3 teams were also led by the women in them. So there are lots of other astronomers who you can read about who were women as well. Is there anything else you wanted to add, really? And the teamwork of the scientists, too, and how they collaborate, and how across the globe they share data in order to use the information that they learn from the eclipse. And eclipse, for thousands of years, they have used eclipses to learn about outer space. They actually figured out through an eclipse how far away the moon is from the Earth. They could measure it hundreds of years ago, before they even had modern technology. They could figure out distances between planets because of eclipses.
I just felt like the logistics in that book, like getting everybody to the right place in the right time, with the right equipment and the right food and the right place to sleep. Holy cow.
Yeah. And then if it's a cloudy day,
Yeah.
right?
Which we might, that might impact us as well.
It might,
Cross
yeah.
those fingers.
Yeah, we're gonna cross it.
Okay.
All right, so this is a very rare opportunity. The next time a total solar eclipse will be in the United States is 2045, 21 years from now. The next time a total solar eclipse will be in New York State will be 55 years from now. The next time there will be a total solar eclipse in Rochester will be 120 years from now. So if you miss it this time, it's not going to be here for 120 years. But I'm gonna go find them where they are too, and you can too. Yes?
August 12th is my birthday.
That is awesome. Then you can plan for that, right? All right. All right. And the last time it was here was 99 years ago, January 25th, 1924, 1925.
25.
There was a total solar eclipse. All right. Now, we wanted to spend a little bit of this time talking about what's going to happen on that day. Now, I can tell you that I was a little bit prepared in 2017, but there's other things I wish I knew enough to look for. And I didn't, and I missed it. And I'm hoping that this time I'll be able to notice some of those things. So the whole solar eclipse is going to take about 2.5 hours. It starts at 2:07 in the afternoon. When slowly the moon is going to start to cover the sun, right? But then this is the time of totality, where you want to be in the right place at the right time so that you can look up. At 3:20, it's going to last about 3 minutes and 38 seconds, depending, if you're in Brighton, that's about how long it's going to last. When we're going to have totality. Yes?
How do you tell the time?
They know it. Actually, I'm going to give you a link for a planetarium software. They can predict, and they know all of the ones in the past and all of the ones in the future, because everything is on, it's a very patterned, right? And they know exactly what's going to happen. They know exactly where it's going to happen. Sometimes be careful if you're on the edge, though, because the maps aren't exactly perfect. So make sure you're pretty close to the middle of that line of totality, but in Brighton, you'll be fine. Yes?
What happens if
Well, actually, I'll show you a map. So this is going to be the best part, okay? 2.5 hours. I tell my students, too, I'm not going to be staring at the sky for 2.5 hours. So there are some other things that you can be noticing and doing, and we're going to talk about that, okay? But except for these few minutes, you better have your glasses on when you're looking up at the sun. It is very, very dangerous to look at the sun without protection, okay? However, during totality, the sun is not in the sky. You'll be able to see the corona, the atmosphere of the sun. It's so beautiful. You can take your glasses off because the sun will be covered. But only if you're in the totality line. And if you're in Brighton, you will. And but then as soon as it's over, you put them back on and you can watch as the eclipse finishes.
Could I see what the glasses look like?
You don't worry about that right now, but you will. I
Yes.
promise. I promise.
Okay. This is the line. Here we are. Between those blue lines is where totality happens. That's where the shadow is going to sweep across America, Mexico and America, and up into Canada and then the ocean, and it's gone. So if you are close to the center, that's great. Syracuse is going to see totality, 1 minute and 34 seconds.
Oh, we win.
Because they're on the edge, all right? But Rochester and Buffalo will be close to the center, so we'll have 3 minutes and 40 seconds approximately, which is a pretty long eclipse. Not the longest, but pretty long. We're pretty lucky.
Like 7.
So as long as you're between these blue lines, you're good. All right, that's totality. But that's 100%. That's totality. 99.999% is not 100%. If you were on those edges, run, get in your car, and make sure you are in totality, because the experience is completely different. This is what you will see. You will see the corona of the sun. And right now, the sun has an activity cycle. That's 11 years, a cycle. That's like a season. Sometimes it has low activity, and sometimes it has high, where it's shooting out, radiation and solar storms out, right? Right now, it's a high period of sun activity. So our view of the corona, the atmosphere of the sun should be even more beautiful. But if you are not at 100%, you will not see that. This is what you will see, as opposed to the beauty of totality. So
to your question, Jordan, like if you live in Brighton, then you'll be in the 100%. If you live in the city of Rochester, you'll still be in the 100%.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's just if you live further out, you won't.
Right, and you know what, Mrs. Lambert, I have a map I can give you too. You can hang it up so you can see. This is the map of the shadow as the path that it's going to follow across the U.S.
What if you use like real glasses?
No, you're going to use these. We'll give you glasses.
Yeah,
also.
we'll
It's
talk
okay.
about the glasses because we need to talk about that, because it is not a joking matter. You can really hurt yourself if you don't follow the rules, but if you follow the rules, you're good. Yes.
Why is the 99% look so different from the
Why? Because the sun is not completely covered, and so it has to be 100% covered by the moon, and then you see it. This is one of my favorite parts. Why? We have the best eclipse, total eclipse of any. This happens all over the universe. The best in our solar system, because the moon perfectly fits over the sun, and it's by total chance, cosmic luck, that it fits perfect because of the distance between the moon and the sun and the size. It's just perfect. It's just like a gift from the cosmos that we have this beauty, and that makes it feel even more special. Yes?
Do you still take your glasses off even though it's 99.99?
No, you cannot take your glasses off.
Good question.
You cannot take your glasses off.
Off when it's 100%.
Only when you're in totality in those 3 minutes and 38 seconds of totality. But not before. And then as soon as it's over, when you can start to see a peak of the sun coming back out, what I'm going to do is I'm going to look down, and I'm going to put my glasses back on, and I'm going to look back up. Because you don't want to look at the sun, directly at the sun. It damages your eyes. Even if it's just a little bit, over time, the sun is very powerful. And luckily, the Earth's atmosphere protects us. So we don't get too much sunburn and all that kind of stuff. But it doesn't protect us from everything, right? And it can't protect our eyes.
So we need more sunscreens.
All right, we didn't even get to this. All right, so let's do this. I want to show you a little bit about what it's going to look like.
This is really cool, you guys. Check this out.
So, and you're going to get the link to this too, okay? So this is 90 minutes before totality. So the partial eclipse is going to start, right? All right, so it's going to start to move in front, the moon in front of the sun. So you'll be looking through your glasses, and this is what you will see. All right, you just take a peek through there. What do you see? How many fingers do I have up?
I cannot see anything.
You will not see anything except for the sun.
I'm going to run for a walk.
No, right. Don't be walking around with those on. Look down and then walk. No, you will see the sun, and this is what you will see. All right, 50 minutes before totality. This is a multi-sensory experience. There's so many things to notice. When the sun's not in the sky, the temperature may change, right? It could go down as much as 10 degrees. It's not going to be freezing. But try to notice with your body, is the temperature changing?
Oh, wait.
There's going to be different types of shadows, kinds of shadows that we don't normally see. All right? The sky is going to start to darken 30 minutes before. The shadow is coming. All right, remember it's a shadow, it's just a shadow, and it's starting to sweep closer and closer. So 30 minutes before the sky is going to darken. And if you happen to be on a hill, and then there's a mountain in the distance, and there's some videos on the internet, you can see that. You can actually see the shadow of the moon coming towards you.
Whoa.
Isn't that cool?
But if it's flat, you don't always get to see that. So temperature, humidity, the wind might pick up a little bit because
Feels like the world is
coming
ending.
up
It's
the
not.
the shadow, right? The light and the level of the color levels will change. Everything will be an eerie color that is that we don't normally see.
So it'll feel like the world is ending. The wind will pick up, it'll
Don't
get
you
dark,
get
the
that?
sun will block out.
I mean, you're going to see the universe in 3D. You are going to see, you're going to witness the moon lining up with the sun, right, in 3D.
Again, that will never happen again.
All right, nature is going to react. The animals, they think it's night. Actually, they're doing studies of this. NASA is too. I don't know, you might be with your dog, but does your dog act differently? Birds might start flying back to their nest. Sometimes insects may, crickets chirp or whatever they do at night. Owls may come out. Animals act strangely. Actually, they're going to study the animals at our zoo to see how they might behave during totality.
They're going to record it.
They are, and actually they recorded in 1925, they recorded animal observations. And they are also recording animal observations now too, because they don't know. They think night is coming. So your dog might want to be fed. Just saying. Yes.
Animals also get damaged if they live there.
You know what? Animals are not going to look up there. They don't normally look up there. They don't know. We're going to look because we know something special is happening, right? But the animals don't normally look up into the sky, and they won't. So I wouldn't worry about that.
With the bird.
They're kind of smarter than to look up at the sun. They know it's not good for them. All right, 5 minutes. Here comes that dark shadow. Now, the shadow bands, I think, can be a little hard to see. They're like little waves of shadow. But maybe if you have a big white piece of paper or something, you can put it out, or a sheet, and sometimes you can see these shadow bands. Then 20 seconds before totality, the corona is going to start to appear. It's going to, now remember, the corona is the Spanish word for crown, and that's the atmosphere of the sun is going to peek out. It is the only time you will ever see the atmosphere of the sun with the naked eye, because the sun's too bright and we can't see it except for during an eclipse.
Or with special technology.
So here comes the dark shadow.
No. Come on.
10 seconds. They call this the diamond ring. It's the last bits of the sun that is peeking out, and it looks like a diamond ring.
Yeah.
Then this is called Bailey's beads after an astronomer. So the moon is not perfectly round. There are asteroids that hit it because it doesn't have the atmosphere to protect it like our Earth does. There's mountains on the moon. So the sun is going to peek through there. And it's going to make these really, really pretty little beads. And actually, there's a link in here. They've already projected what it's going to look like from Rochester, what those beads will look like and where to look for them. Because they know where the mountains are, and they know where the craters on the moon are. And so they've used computer models to project where it's going to look. So we'll know where to look. So look out for those things. It makes it really beautiful. And then totality begins. You're going to see stars are going to come out. You should see Venus. You should see Jupiter in plain sight. Those will be easy to see. They will be right there.
This will be amazing.
The chromosphere. So this is the thin red layer of the sun's atmosphere. Do you see this? again, you might be able to see even more of those coronal mass ejections because we're at a period of high solar activity. So those might be even more beautiful. You can see them in the sky. And then, and then that beautiful halo. And you can see, there's actually going to be a comet too. Yes, there's a comet, but like on the top right. However, the comet, the only chance we'd have to have some more cosmic luck if like a piece of, a comet's a lot of ice, right? If a chunk of it falls off and it shines, all right, and then it might shine, then we might see it. Otherwise, I'm going to be looking for pictures that astronomers take of it, because it should be like up at the top right, because there's a comet going by right now. And then that beautiful, beautiful corona. Stars and planets, and I'm going to show you a picture of what we'll see.
Mercury.
All right. So let's say it's a perfectly clear day. All right. It's going to be different if it's cloudy, but it's kind of like a full moon night. It's not totally dark, and there's like you'll be able to see like twilight all the way around, because the shadow is about 130 miles wide, and the light around the edges will still be there. So, and then the eclipse at maximum, and it's just beautiful. So, I wish clear skies for all of you so that you can see it.
Imagine how sad this would be if you're sick.
We have about 3 or 4 minutes left.
You could still go outside.
How can our
No,
students
but like you're
prepare
actually
best
sick, like
for this
vomiting.
experience?
Yes,
What would you
well,
recommend?
What I
You
recommend,
could lie down.
Now, inside your bags, I have
down.
several things for you, okay? Including 2 pairs of glasses that you have in here. So the number one thing is please be safe. Make sure you wear your glasses, okay? During the time before and after totality. And then, when you know it's totality, take them off. What will you see if you don't? Nothing. You will see nothing.
That's how you go.
So take them off.
Break your eyes. That's when you.
So, number one, be safe.
Your eyes are probably working.
Number one, be safe. Mrs. Lambert is going to give you and I'm sorry because, there's just so much to talk about, right? She's going to give you a link to this, because there's one thing I think you guys will think is really cool. And I have some activities with descriptions in the bags that I'm going to give you. But, all right, use all of your senses. Watch the animals, listen, feel the temperature, see the beauty. Just enjoy yourself and this really, really special gift that we have been given to have it in Rochester. Oops, I'm going the wrong way. Right here, this is us. I live in Pittsburgh. This is my view. This is Stellarium software. That is during totality, so I know Jupiter. We're looking to the southwest. The southwest is where the sun is going to be in the sky. We're going to see Jupiter to the top left of totality and Venus to the bottom right. So this is the corona in a period of low activity. This is what I would have seen in 2017. These are the coronas during periods of high solar activity.
Look at the difference.
So we're hoping for this. Now these pictures were taken by professional photographers, and so this isn't exactly how we'll see it.
Can I take a picture?
Oh, can you take a picture?
This is important.
Put a solar filter over your camera. It can also damage your camera and your eye as you look through it. Or take an extra pair of glasses and put it over your camera lens. You can do that too.
Take an extra pair of glasses.
But you know what? Lots of people are going to take pictures. Use those pictures. Just enjoy it and look at it with your eyes. Now, I want you guys to try this. This is Stellarium. It is a planetarium software. It is free on the internet. I just clicked on it, and now I'm clicking up here to Stellarium Web. What you can do is you can go back to your birthday. You can go back. You can go to the future. You can go back 99 years to see what it looked like, what the solar eclipse looked like. This is It's free software on the internet. You can, this is the, that's right there is the comet that's out there right now. That's it. That's where it is in the sky right now. So this is looking north. It's right over there. Right, that's north. This is a free software right now in the sky. Jupiter is up there, Mercury is right there. And then what you can do, if you click right down here, you can go choose the date. So you can choose your birthday, see what the sky looks like on your birthday. But let's go to the 8th.
November 14.
We're going to go to the 8th, and then we're going to go to totality.
We can just check the time.
Um,
Let's do November 14.
all right, do you see how it got dark?
Yeah, look at the difference.
All right. And so you can see what's going to be in the sky during totality.
Uh-oh.
All
Hey,
right.
folks, come on over for a quick picture.